company that operates Sioux City's Marina wants to terminate its lease, city officials say, and that puts the prospect of boaters hitting the water this summer in jeopardy. However, city officials say the company is required to open the marina under the terms of the lease. KTIV's Matt Hoffman's been following this story since March when news of the marina closure first broke. So Matt, let me ask you this. How do city officials say they're going to do?
Yeah, Matt, well, the first thing is city officials say they've denied that request to terminate the lease. But where we go from here, unfortunately, it isn't exactly straightforward. Today, just like every day this season, the marina sits empty. The marina, nearby bar, restaurant, and hotel are all leased by Hague companies based in Sioux Falls. They previously said they couldn't open because of low water levels on the Missouri River. But officials say the problem is really built up silt that needs to be dredged. That comes with an expensive price tag.
Conversations to see what mutually beneficial agreement, if there is one, can be struck and what that necessarily looks like.
Now, the lease is for the entire property, not just the marina. So it's not as simple as simply ending the lease on the marina and spinning it off as a separate entity. City officials could sue under the lease, but that would likely stretch into the summer.
If you don't find someone that necessarily wants to manage just that part of the amenity, that's the whole point of maybe leasing that entire ground and having it being one operation or one management contract.
City officials say the lease requires the company to also operate Jollies on the river. That's a nearby bar that actually sits on dry land. So far, that establishment has remained closed this year. And Matt Waters says opening the marina still remains a top priority inside City Hall. He hopes to have a resolution soon, but unfortunately he can't say what that resolution may look like. Matt?
Matt Hoffman with Live Link 4 for us at the Sioux City Marina. Matt, thanks.